WVTM 13's Project Community highlighting barrier-breaking women. For more than a century, the Junior League of Birmingham has been a leading women's community service organization.
Our WVTM 13's Carla Wade introduces you to the two women who represent how the organization is evolving.
We're wrapping up Women's History Month with a look at an organization that comes with a lot of preconceived notions about who they are, what they stand for, and what they do. I sat down with two Junior League of Birmingham members who broke barriers within the organization and are doing the work to ensure the Junior League is around for another 100 years.
Birmingham was barely 50 years old when in 1922, the Junior League of Birmingham was formed, one of the earliest junior leagues in the country.
The Junior League of Birmingham has grown right along with the Magic City. The organization celebrated its centennial in 2022. It's the same year Martina Winston served as president, becoming only the second Black woman ever to lead the Birmingham chapter.
There's a saying that I think we started about 10 years ago to say, this ain't your mama's Junior League. And the reason why I have to bring this up is because the league has transitioned a lot over the years.
The Junior League's mission is simple: to advance women's leadership for meaningful community impact through volunteer action, collaboration, and training. Martina's decision to join and her presidency are proof of the organization's transformation. This vice president of talent and culture at Protective Life never saw herself as the typical Junior League member.
The Junior League was not something that was talked about at my dinner table as, a little girl growing up on the south side of Chicago. My mom or any of my other family members really wasn't aware. And I was working, professional woman. I had two really small children at the time. So not only was I balancing and navigating home and then also my career, then I was asked to use extra time to come volunteer, and it just seemed like we weren't aligned.
But there was someone who acutely understood Martina's reservations.
On the wall behind you, there are pictures of all 101 of our presidents, and all but 2 of them are white women.
Andrea McCaskey was the first Black president of the Junior League of Birmingham back in 2006. Formerly with Regions Bank, Andrea now works for Momentum Leaders. 16 years separate Andrea and Martina's presidencies. At their first meeting, Andrea made Martina aware of the gap.
And then she said, "Please do not let me be the only." And I looked around, I'm like, what is she only what? I don't really know what she's talking about. And she gave me like that mama look, like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't play dumb with me.
Ultimately, it was a fact not lost on either woman, who both joined with a keen awareness the group has not had a great deal of ethnic or socioeconomic diversity.
I wasn't aiming to be the first Black president, but I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee in the 60s, and so I was often the first or the only in many roles that I played. And so it wasn't necessarily strange, but it wasn't a goal to be the first Black president. When I joined, there were very few women of color in the Junior League. Now, when you look out at a general membership meeting, it is incredibly diverse. These are women from all ages and all backgrounds, and it really gives you a good feel for what the Junior League has become.
Their leadership roles reflect an organization changing with the times.
Sometimes it's because they're looking for, camaraderie and connection and conversation with like-minded women. Or maybe they're trying to step outside of their shell and learn some new skills that maybe they would not get otherwise in their professional setting or maybe within their home. So, the league has shifted a lot.
It's a way to structure your volunteerism. You get to decide where you want to spend your time in the community. And what I love about it is there's a group of, there are 2,000 plus women in the Junior League, active and sustainer. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of money that we can put into the community and make a difference.
But staying true to its mission. Carla Wade, WVTM 13.